On the battlefield, a silent force is reshaping the rules. T requires no pilot to risk their life. Yet it can take lives from thousands of miles away. Its cost is so low that it can render the most expensive defense lines virtually useless. As drones become the masters of Middle Eastern skies, how should we examine the heaven's eye and sharp blade in our hands? We take the top geopolitical strings of the Middle East as our case study.
President Trump considers the month-old ceasefire to stone flagged oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz as Washington awaits Tehran's response on a peace proposal.
The United States has turned drones into a sharp tool for counter-terrorism and targeted killing. Israel relies on drones to weave an airtight net over the borders of Gaza and Lebanon. Iran, meanwhile, has carved out its own path under sanctions, vigorously developing low-cost drones and proliferating the technology. A lethal network woven by drones has now descended upon this land. In modern militaries, drones play three distinct roles. First, as an untiring heaven's eye, they conduct aerial surveillance and intelligence gathering. Second, they transform into a surgical sharp blade, executing tactical strikes. Third, they take on the role of a disruptive swarm, using low-cost, asymmetric tactics to challenge traditional defense systems. This is precisely the forte of Iran and the armed groups it supports. Why do nations flock to drones? To protect sovereignty, strengthen borders, and most importantly, to remove soldiers from extreme risk. For the United States, drones are about maintaining a military edge. For Israel, they provide cost-effective, real-time defense. For Iran, they represent an asymmetric trump card, a way to break through technological blockade and achieve regional deterrence and denial.
Military Personnel Risk Exposure Index.
Yet behind the halo of technology lies a heavy ethical shadow. When crosshairs are aimed at residential areas, the tragedy of civilian casualties repeats itself again and again. Even more disturbing is this: when the decision to kill is handed over to algorithms, who bears the guilt? The operator thousands of miles away? The engineer who wrote the code? Or the cold machine itself? This directly shakes the principles of distinction, proportionality, and precaution under international humanitarian law. The misuse and proliferation of this technology are creating a global security dilemma. Drones lower the threshold for the use of force, intensify regional conflicts, and catalyze arms race spirals. The technological contest among the United States, Israel, and Iran is driving the emergence of ever more advanced drones and counter-drone systems, plunging the world into an even more unstable security predicament. In the face of these challenges, we are not powerless. We must establish hard rules, ensure that lethal decisions always retain meaningful human control, enforce strict export controls to prevent technology from falling into irresponsible hands, and establish independent accountability mechanisms for every strike. Technology must be caged within the bounds of humanity and the rule of law. Drone technology itself is a crystallization of innovation. It bears no original sin. The real variable is the human heart that wields it. In the pursuit of absolute security, we must not lose our reverence for humanity, finding a balance in this three-way struggle between technology, security, and ethics that is the true channel to lasting peace.